Hey, hi, good evening and welcome. I warmly welcome you to this small presentation, or in fact, you can call it as a small briefing session on how one can crack CAT in their very first attempt, right? So, when they are taking the first attempt, what are the things that they might have to kind of consider so that they are sure that in their very first attempt they can crack the CAT? Because crack, in the sense, it has different meanings. To put that to perspective, just a sec. Yeah, when we say that crack cat, it has different perspectives and it has different meanings because for some people, getting 85 percentile could be cracking cat because the cracking in the sense there is nothing here called pass fail or anything like that. So when we say that a cracking cat, it means different for different people, right? So what I meant is it's based upon your aspirations, maybe getting into the top notch B schools, you can call it as cracking cat, right? So you want to get into A, B, C of the world or top 10 B schools of the world or top 50, I mean, not world of India or top 15 B schools of India. That's what I'm technically trying to call it as cracking the cat. How do I do that? Because yes, is it a challenge to get into the top 10 B schools or top 15 B schools of the country? Of course, yes, right? As we all kind of know, it is not an easy job. Of course it's not an easy job. So before I speak about this, because this is one fundamental question which people asked me in the last 10-15 years of my tenure, so before I speak about this, let me quickly introduce myself because some of you could be pretty new learners to me out here. So I'm Belvi Srinivas. So I've been working in the test prep industry since 2007. That's about 14 years now. Yes, during those 14 years I worked in various capacities with different organizations as it is projected on this particular deck. Yes, I work both on the side of management as well as on the training and mentoring the students and guiding the students, of course counseling the students to achieve their right objectives and build right careers. Yeah, that's briefly about me. Yes, during that point in time I did develop some good skills to train the students in the area of QA, DI and LR, but of course I understand about VARC as well, though I don't train students in that particular area. That's big quickly about my background and credentials. Yes, all right, how do you reach out to me? Just in case, all right, after this particular lecture you still have some doubts and you want to reach out to me for simple suggestions or things like that, so you can always come on to this particular Telegram channel, which is Belvi Srinivas Unacademy, and yes, you can post your concerns there or issues that you are facing, so that if it is a short one, I will certainly take time to respond to you. Not only there are many active students on the Telegram channel. They will also try and help you as much as they could. That's briefly about how my background and how you can reach out to me based on my experience of mentoring students for the last 14 odd years, out of which 10 years I could say that I was pretty actively mentoring the students, because even before mentoring you need certain amount of experience, say a decade of good experience and exposure to mentoring the students to arrive at the right kind of B schools. So I will speak from that background as to what, if you are starting early, what are the things that you got to kind of keep it in mind. Okay, so if there is anyone by chance a CAT 2021 student out here, this lecture might not really help you. This is meant for CAT 22, but for those who are appearing for CAT 21, that is day after tomorrow, 2 days from now, so here is a quick announcement for you, and you can join me at 8 p.m. tonight. 8 p.m. tonight I am doing a lecture for CAT 21 as discussed yesterday, but then if you are attending now, this might not help you at all because this is meant for CAT 22 students. But yes, some of these strategy series, CAT 21 strategy series, 10-day strategy series might help you. You can take a look at this on the special classes on the Unacademy app. This can be useful to you. Yeah, and if CAT 21 students or CAT 22 students, if you have a doubt, certainly, or CAT 23 as well, if you guys have a doubt on the if you have a doubt in the content, you can use the feature on the Unacademy app, which is Ask a Doubt, and certainly some of the mentors will make an effort to quickly address that particular query. That is one way of getting your query, especially in the area of QA, DI and LR, being addressed. Fair enough. That brings me to the lecture. So those who are here for the CAT 21, you can exchange greetings. You guys can say hi in the chat. Maybe this is the time. So those who are here for the CAT 21 students, would you guys mind quickly exchange some greetings out here? Can you just put hi in the chat there? If there is no lag in the video, etc., I'll just wait for a couple of seconds. It would be nice if you can just type a hi in the chat and then you can just put that in the exchange greetings so that I would kind of understand it a little bit. Okay. Hi, Ashutosh. Risti, I think you guys are preparing for CAT 21. Yeah, nevertheless, right? This is meant for CAT 22. Anybody for CAT 22? Yeah. Okay. I think Srishti, it's CAT 21. That's all right. Ashutosh CAT 21 or 22, Ashutosh? Good evening, guys. CAT 21, CAT 22. Can you quickly put that in the chat? Okay. Yeah, you suddenly threw me the confusion. Yeah, nevertheless, all right, if there is anyone from the CAT 21 perspective, so you guys can just put that in the chat. I will ask a simple quiz for help you to understand this because I'm a firm believer in this. Yeah, hi Rishabh, hello. Yeah, but this is a presentation for CAT 21, not for CAT 22, not for CAT 21, guys. Okay, anyway, you guys can listen so that you can tell your juniors. But yes, this presentation, I'm doing it for the next 20 minutes or so, is meant for CAT 22 students, not meant for CAT 21 students. Let me be clear about that. Yeah. Let me ask you, CAT 21 students, answer to yourself in your mind maybe. For the last 5 years running, which means if you are aware, so because some of the CAT 21 students may not be aware, CAT 22 students may not be aware, appearing for CAT 22. For the last 5 years running, because yeah, CAT 21, you guys will know. I'm not talking about the CAT 21 because this presentation, as I told you clearly, for CAT 22. For the last 5 years, which is the first section in CAT, we all know the answer, that VARC, right? So there are 3 sections in CAT. There is a VARC, there is a DILR, that's the second section, and the last section is the quant, right? Yeah, knowing that. Okay, so we'll come to that. Why I'm making this particular such a simple quiz? What does it mean to us? I'll come to it, right? Because we have to connect those dots logically. Yeah, VARC is the first section. Fair enough. So let's understand the second question. Quiz yourself. Yeah, hi Rohan. Yeah. Quiz yourself, meant for CAT 22 students. Which section of CAT has highest weightage in shortlisting or selection, final selection or shortlisting for the interview calls, etc.? Most of the top B schools I'm talking about. Take the top 12 or top 15 B schools, top 10, let's say you who count to the top 10. Out of top 10, about 7-8 B schools take CAT scores. The rest of them take IFT score or ZAT score. Leave that apart, consider from the CAT score which section has the highest weightage, right? It's a verbal section, right? VRC section has the highest weightage. It is not the quant section which has the highest weightage. It is not the DILR section which has the highest weightage. Generally, more often than not, I'm not saying all, you can take a particular B school and prove me wrong. I'm not talking about that. In general, which section is given the highest weightage? It is VRC section which is given the highest weightage. All right, let me come to the third question. We'll speak more about them. So let's come to the third question. For most of the achievers means if I go into I am Bangalore, right? I am Ahmedabad or I am Lucknow. If let me get into some of the B schools, and if I take all their scorecards, if I see their score, most of them, I'm not taking all of them, there would be 500 students doing a PGP course in IIM Bangalore. Of course, I live a stone's away from IIM Bangalore campus. Therefore, generally I take that because I'm an alum of IIM Bangalore. So therefore, I generally take that particular name because yeah, I have a close relationship, right? From that perspective. So when I ask, if I take a look at 500 students in that particular campus, if I ask them, if I take all their scorecards, CAT scorecards, and check there in which section they scored the maximum marks, you find majority of them, irrespective of backgrounds, they would have scored their highest scores in VRC section. Highest score come from the VRC section. Yeah, it might come as a surprise what I'm talking to you, but this is the reality, because tomorrow you get into the IIM Ahmedabad or IIM Bangalore campus, you talk to the peer group, ask them which section they scored their highest score, not the percentile, I'm saying highest score. Marks are there, in which section you scored your highest marks. Most of them will end up saying that it is the VRC section. That's the truth of the matter. Okay, there are many reasons for it. I don't come into all the reasons at this point in time. There are pretty many reasons for this. Okay, now let me go back to each of these particular points, right? So let me go back to each of these particular points. Hey, why the VARC? Because you said that the answer to this particular question is VARC. Why VARC is the first section in a CAT-like exam? Even if you want to take a ZAT exam, take your ZAT exam, CAT or ZAT. These are the two major exams in India. Why major exams in India? Hundreds of B schools take their score. Simple, right? And dozens of top B schools take their score. So when you look at ZAT, you may say that, okay, ZAT is for XLRI, isn't it? Correct, right? But XM Bhubaneswar takes its score. At times SP Jain takes their score, right? There are some top B schools which also take their scores. That's my point then. Okay, therefore, even if you look at the ZAT, hey, there are 3 sections in ZAT. Of course, there would be sometimes GK keeps coming, keeps going, all that stuff. You leave GK, three major sections other than GK. GK is a minor section for 10-15 minutes, leave that apart. Three major sections in ZAT are nothing but what? You have VA, along with VA there is going to be LR, very small weightage. It is still language based reasoning, not seating arrangement, all that stuff generally. Okay, VA, LR, and you have another section which is called as decision making, nothing but the case reading, and you have a third section called as QADI. So if you say that, hey, I want to crack ZAT, I am telling you, if you want to crack ZAT, your language skill should be good, because your 60% of the paper is made up of language. That's why I say that, hey, some people, those who don't do so well in CAT, they do very well in ZAT. Who are these people? These people have a good language skills. They have very acute language skills, because they understand that 60% of the ZAT paper is technically built around the language skills. Hey, why language is so important? Let's understand that English language. You may say that, sir, I'm very good in Hindi, I'm very good in Bhojpuri, I'm very good in Malayalam. No, it doesn't help us. It doesn't help us. We should be very, very good, in the sense like decent, when it comes to the English language skills. Hey, is it the speaking skills? No, reading and writing skills I'm talking about, not just the spoken language skills. Fair enough. Come back to this. Now, therefore, what is the message I'm trying to communicate to you guys? I'm trying to say that, hey, so why CAT also says that VARC is important? For them, it is very, very simple. Look, man, your B school is all about reading. It's reading, reading, and reading, and reading. There is so much to read if you really want to excel as a manager, right? So, in the sense, like, you might have heard this old saying, reading maketh a man. 16th century English. Man does not mean only male. Mankind. Reading maketh a man. Modern day, right? Read to lead, right? You are not born to lead, but you read to lead. You may say that, hey, there are some leaders who have not read, but they are leading. I'm not talking about some. I'm talking about majority. Whenever we make statement, we consider 80%. We don't consider the 20%, right? 80% is what we look at, because chances of being a 80% is much higher for each one of us. Okay, coming back to this. So let's come back to this. Hey, why VARC is so important there? As I told you, as you get into the B schools, you have 100 to 200 pages to be read every single day, and this is not a novel. This 100-200 pages is not a novel. Therefore, CAT says that, look, either I will switch you on or I will switch you off in the first 20 minutes. What do you mean by in the first 20 minutes of the paper? You may say that, sir, isn't it a 2 hours paper? That's right. If your VARC is not good, you start feeling pathetic in your mind itself, knowing that, okay, I am Ahmedabad is out of my kitty. I am Bangalore, I cannot think of. I am Lucknow, I cannot think of. Likewise, alright, you'll start thinking that, okay, top 4 or 5 B schools are already out of reach in the first 20 minutes. That's the reality of the matter, right? Okay, coming back to this. So let's understand this. So therefore, what? Hey, why XLRI is also looking at that? Because top B schools know language skill is very, very important. Therefore, one advice, if you are looking at CAT 22, which is 1 year from today, right, that can be about 28th of next month. If I'm looking at that next year, June, next year, November month, if I'm looking at this, say, one question you got to ask yourself is, am I a good reader? If I am not a good reader, that is the first skill that you might have to develop, because all B schools, top B schools, I'm talking about top, I'm not talking about some of the B schools. Top B schools, they always look that, hey, I want a good reader on the campus. Out of these 500 students on IIM Bangalore campus, 500 students on IIM Ahmedabad campus, most of them are very, very good readers. Yeah, that's my first point out there. That's the reason they said that is my first section, and precisely that is the reason. Coming to the point number 2. CAT section, why CAT gives, IIM Ahmedabad gives more, IIM Bangalore gives more weightage to language, right? IIM Ahmedabad gives more weightage to language. Why they give more weightage? It's just, what do you mean by this? For example, let's assume that I and Rohan are here. There is Rohan, there is somebody logged in as a Rohan here. Let's say that I and Rohan are here. We both got the same total score, same percentile. Let's assume that we both got same percentile. I got 99.6, Rohan also got 99.6. We both got 99.6. Let's assume that Rohan got call from IIM Bangalore. I did not get a call from IIM Bangalore. I got 99.6. Rohan also got 99.6. But Rohan got a call from IIM Bangalore, but I did not get a call from IIM Bangalore. Reason: when I look at the sectionals, I scored more from quant, but Rohan scored more from verbal, and the verbal section, VARC section, has the higher weightage. Therefore, when they did the weighted averages, Rohan's score qualified better in IIM Ahmedabad ranking list when compared with mine number. That's a point I'm trying to make. That is what I mean by weighted average. Therefore, getting a overall score is one story. Getting a good sectional score in a particular section is another story. Therefore, if I am preparing for CAT 22, which section I will want to target best, target more? Certainly, it is going to be the verbal section. First, I will say that verbal section, I put it in place, and then I will look for any other section. That's my message, right? That's a message that I wanted to pass on. Hey guys, already you have to develop this reading skills, especially in English. So what I meant here is, hey, keep reading in English, keep writing in English, keep speaking in English, so that your vocab will be built automatically, your grammar would be built automatically, your comprehension skills in English would be built automatically. You keep speaking in Hindi or Malayalam or Kannada, that will not happen. You keep reading in some other language, yeah, do it as an entertainment, right? I am not saying that with the family also you start speaking in English, etc. I'm saying that, hey, as much as possible, listen to English, speak English, write English, read English. This is one way that, hey, you become better at the skill. More better we are, better we have the chances of cracking this particular section. That's the truth of the matter. I'm not kidding, right? I'm not giving some fufa solution here. That's a matter, that's a fact of the matter. Okay, coming to the third point. What is this? Most of the achievers can't tolerate, because achievers understand that there is a skewness, in the sense there is going to be higher weightage for verbal section. Therefore, anybody who is smart in their preparation, they know which section to target. See, all this is contrary to the skill that I teach, but I want to be truthful out here, in the sense, like, what is that I'm trying to say? You may wonder, sir, aren't you a quant teacher? Aren't you a DILR teacher? Yeah, true. So that doesn't matter to me. I teach them. Doesn't mean that I have any aversion towards English or something like that. I'm okay in that particular skill as well, right? Yeah, but I don't teach. So, but the point here is what? I'm not encouraging that, okay, you should not attend quant lectures or DILR lectures. I'm saying that don't neglect this. This is first, and then anything else, right? And then anything else. Now, being a quant and DILR lecturer, I'm making this particular comment. I know the power of this particular section. This is the engine, right? This is going to be the engine, because when you are on the B school campus, you are not going to do maths all the day, right? Maths all the day. You do two things all the day. One is language, the other one is the logic. Maths is done by machines, right? If you are doing the financial accounting, hey, Tally, etc., softwares are there. If you are doing analytics, there is a software that Amazon, Python, etc., right? So when you are doing statistics, there are softwares. You don't have to sit and do any of this math. Math is done. What is that you should be good at? Read as much as possible, understand. Second thing is apply logic. Therefore, I say that, hey, verbal ability, VARC followed by DILR fetches more weightage. These are the two sections we need to be mindful about. Fair enough. That addresses my question. Coming to the point, what are the things that I need to ask myself at this point in time? Okay, having went on a monologue for 10-15 minutes, so what are the skills you should be asking yourself? Assess yourself to yourself. Okay, ask very first question to start with. Do I have decent reading skills? Trust me, guys, reading is more of an art than a science. Maths is more of a science than an art, right? LR is more of a science than an art, right? Science means what? Something which can be learned with a particular process, but reading is not like that. Reading is more an art than a science. There is less of science behind reading. There is more of art behind this. Say, how do I get that skill in the art in that particular case? There is no choice. Therefore, you might have heard your teacher saying that read to develop reading, because they didn't give you any other solution. They said that simply read, right? Because it's more an art than a science. Has it been a science, they would have said that this is the method, that is the method. Sure, methods exist, but they contribute minimal. What contribute maximum is, hey, lock yourself and start reading every single day. Okay, and second thing is what? Reading speed. Be mindful about reading speed. For example, if you are biking, so you know kind of your speed. You know that your bike, and when you are driving, you kind of know that, hey, probably I am comfortable driving at 60 kilometers per hour. You are on a highway, let's say. So which wallet? Your bike, because your bike has a condition. It has an engine, right? So the engine has a capacity. Therefore, you may be thinking that is 60 a better speed? Is 70 a better speed for your bike? Is it going out of control? There is a speed. Similarly, the reading also has a speed. When I talk to my students in the first interactions, most of them have no idea at what speed they read, what kind of material, right? So that's very important, right? I will tell you. So when you go onto the campuses of A, B, C, LKI, top 10 B schools, XLRI, etc., you find that people are generally reading a lighter material at around 600 words per minute. Yes, right, you heard it right, about 600 words per minute. Why should I go to that particular campus? Go to a convent, some good school where they have nice literature teachers. A child of age 8 years or 9 years will be reading a storybook like a Geronimo Stilton, or they may be reading Enid Blyton's any book. They will be reading at 400 words per minute. Who are these kids? 8-year-old kids. I'm not kidding. That's our competition, right? I'm saying that 8-year-old kid can read at 400 words per minute and comprehend that storybook written by Enid Blyton or whatever it is, right? They're written by the Stiltons, Geronimo Stiltons, all that Stiltons, etc. Whatever they're reading, I'm not sure, or it can be right, or any of this. So you kind of understand that, you kind of understand that what is the speeding read of an adult. Technically, a lighter material, adults read at around 600 to 700 words per minute. Hey, what if I'm not mindful? I cannot build. How do I build it? Only by practice, right? Okay, what if it is a denser material? Sure, it tends towards 300 words per minute. Yeah, I'm just giving you a range so that I'm just setting up an expectation that what I meant by reading speed, because if I mention that word and if I don't tell you that what is expected, then it might not really all it work. I just said ballpark figure for your understanding. That's what I meant by decent reading skills, right? So do I have decent reading skills is one question that you might have to ask. Second one, how many books do I read every single month? That's another question. If you think that you are a decent reader, naturally you would have this particular habit. How many books do you read per month, right? So if you're in a good schools, do you know that, okay, unless there is an exam period, your teachers will say that one novel you should finish every single week. There is no choice in the matter, right? So you have one novel every single week. Therefore, if you ask a 3rd standard child or 4th standard child or 5th standard child in a convent, they would be reading now technically about 3 novels per week, 3 novels per month for about 10 months. They would have read 30 books and 8 years in the school, right? So that is 3rd standard to 10th standard, 8 years in the school. Maybe 10th standard they might not insist, but up to 9th standard in the school. So for example, these 7 years, 7 into 7 into 30, right? They would have read 200 odd books by the time they come out of their high school. That's a reality. By the time they step out of the 10th standard, a good student would have technically read somewhere closer to about 200 books, right? 200 story books of varieties their teachers have suggested. So that's what I meant by having a decent reading skills. If not, what I should be doing, I need to build. So therefore, ask a question in the last 1 year. So this particular year itself, take this particular year in 2021, how many books have I read other than my curriculum? I'm not saying that, okay, you might be a student of maths, or you might be a student of sciences, or you might be a student of psychology. I'm not talking about your academic books. I'm saying that how many books do I read? It can be novels, whatsoever it is. What kind of books I read? How many books I read in a month? Ask a question. How many books I would have read in this entire 2021? I'm not asking everyone. Just ask yourself. I'm not saying that type it in the chat. I'm saying that's important. Do I have a target? So in the sense, I want to read 2 books every month. I want to read 3 books every month. Do I have any such targets in reading? It is important, my friends. It's pretty important there. Yeah, that's my second point. Introspections. I'm saying that how many books I've read. If I have not read at least 2 books per month, or say at least 15 books by now, then we should understand that, hey, probably I'm far away, because at least a dozen books should have been read in a year. However busy we are, with all the busy schedules, a dozen book. Not so busy schedule, surely it allows us to read much more than that. Any which ways, coming back to this, yeah. All right, anyway, it's the same thing. Yeah. How often do I write? That's very important there, because some of us are good readers. So now this question is to the people, those who read, how often do I write? Why? Because there is a VAT, written assessment test at the end or before the B score, before the professor takes you for an admission. They say that, why don't you write an essay and show it to me? Write about 300 words in about 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Why that is important? Because prof will be reading your assignments, which will be 6 pages or 8 pages. Whenever professors gives an assignment, they'll say that, hey, write about 6 pages or 8 pages and submit it to me. I will evaluate and I will give it back to you. Now, the 6 or 7 pages that you write should make a much better meaningful sense to a professor, because they generally read 1 page in about 1 minute. The very reason they said that your assignment should have 5 pages at the most is about, I don't want to spend more than 5 minutes on your piece of writing about that particular case. So 5 minutes per individual is all that they can spare. So to make some better sense in that 5 minutes, they don't want to come under pressure because of somebody's bad writing. Assume that I'm not such a great writer, good writer, decent writer. What happens? My piece of writing will be so difficult for professor to understand because grammar is distorted. I'm verbose. I'm not using the right kind of words, right? I'm not putting them in the logical sequence, the thoughts. Therefore, what I'm writing is pretty redundant, same information. I'm saying it again and again and again in the writing. So this makes me not such a a good writer. So what happens to the professor? All right, it's all, this is like, for a professor, it's like an irritant. This piece of writing is like an irritant. Their life, they decide, I don't want to get irritated. Somebody's writing skills are not good. Please don't get that fellow on the campus, because if you get that fellow on the campus, we all have to bear that brunt. Don't get him on the campus. On the first place, why you want to get that fellow on the campus, right? So we have 500 people to facilitate. Get nice people so that our lives are sorted, right? That's the whole point out there. Okay, therefore writing is important. So how often do I write? Whatever you are writing, you can be writing blogs, you can be writing the summaries, or you can be writing the reviews, right? You can be writing some you can be whatsoever that you are writing. It's important there, right? So I hope I kind of communicated certain message to you people. What is the importance of the reading? And this is much more important. I will be doing this particular session in different packages. Today my idea was to communicate a loud and clear message that, guys, if you want to crack CAT, the single largest difference that it's going to make is the VARC section. In the sense, your reading skills are very, very important for a B school. Therefore, one question being asked in the interview generally is, what is the recent book that you have read, or what are the books that you have read in the recent past? Why professors ask is somewhere they get a doubt that this fellow doesn't look like a good reader. If he is not a reader, see, nobody will be selected because they are reading. They are not selected because they are reading. But that question, whenever they get a doubt, the professors ask in the interview is, hey, how many books you have read in the past? What is the recent book that you have read? So that just to understand that what kind of readings that you are doing. And they will ask you that, hey, what is the best page, or what is the best thing that you liked in that particular reading? They will ask you certain things like that to understand your depth of your reading, the kind of your reading, technically to understand the depth to which you can read and comprehend. That is what they ask. For that particular question, if it is a very light kind of book that you are reading, saying that Chetan Bhagat's this book is the book that they'll say that he's a very kind of a light reader. Probably that can be a reason for which you might not be selected. All right, when in doubt, they will simply reject the candidature. That's what they kind of do. Okay, my point is therefore what I should be doing. That's a question. Okay, having understood this, having come to the assessment of this, what I should be doing. Okay, am I making sense to someone here? Hello, can somebody respond here? Am I making sense to someone out here? Yeah. Sure, Ayati, don't worry. I'll let you know if it is your first attempt. That's going to be a great experience. Yeah. Okay. Right. But this is more from the perspective of CAT 22. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look here. Right now. So what is this? What is that is expected in the month of December this particular year? December this year to March next year, say already a 4-month target, about 100 days target. Technically what I'm trying to say is, hey, think about 100 days, a package of 100 days, roughly a package of 100 days. What I should be thinking in these particular 100 days? First and foremost thing, you do something or you don't do anything, you must be doing is, if you are already a good reader, I don't have to say this, at least to 2 hours I don't have to say this. I don't see anybody who is good at reading not reading for several hours every day, right? So I don't see this at all, right? Because I've been kind of a decent reader, and there are others in my family also. There are some people who are a decent reader. In my friend circle also, there are some people who are decent readers. So yeah, you can't resist at least reading for several hours. I am saying that just in case if I am not an avid reader, so I am not a great reader, the first and foremost thing that you should be doing is, hey, read at least 2 hours every single day. That is minimum. Hey, no sir, I will read much more than this. Fair enough. But if you don't have this habit of reading, the first thing that you should be doing is resit and start reading. Forget your quant, forget your LRDI, keep aside all of this, start reading. Now what to read, I will come to it what to read. But the first and foremost thing that you should be doing is, trust me guys, get this skill in place. Your life is sorted. Not only your B school admission is sorted, your life after that as a business leader is also sorted. Take my words. Okay, yeah, so that at least 2 hours is what I'm expecting you to read, and that reading should be only in English, because mind you, because I've seen people reading in their mother tongues, all that stuff. They don't read in any other language. You must be reading only in English, and that too books which will kind of challenge your mind, because unless it challenges you, it doesn't change you. There is a light reading and there is a heavy reading. Do somewhere in between. All right, that should be good enough. Yeah, once in a while you can pick up very heavy reading as well. I'm not denying it, but only doing a light reading does not change you at all. In the sense, I went to the gym, I took 1 kg dumbbell and I'm doing all right now some 30, 40, 50 repetitions. For what? All right, now does it change any muscle there? I don't think so. Right? Instead, take a decent dumbbell. You don't have to take a very heavy one. take a decent one and start working, it works. All right, it works on that muscle. At least the shape of the muscle would change in some days from now. Similarly, brain is also a muscle. It works provided you pick up something which is reasonably challenging, right? Reasonably challenging. Okay, Nishta, you are trying to say that new words and adding them in our vocabulary can be a good option. This happens automatically, Nishta, right? When you are reading it. So naturally you will come across new words, naturally you appreciate the grammar, naturally your comprehension is built. Three things happen with reading, not just one thing. Three things. Three benefits of reading is your comprehension improves, because I can read, you can read, we can read that paragraph, but some person understands 95% of what they read, some people understand 80% of what they read, some people understand only 50% of what they read. There is a difference. Reading is different from comprehension. So we say read. What does it mean? It improves your comprehension, it improves your vocabulary, because by context you understand the meaning of that particular word. Contextual vocabulary. Of course, after the piece of reading you can always open your dictionary and learn much more. It can be digital dictionary, physical dictionary, doesn't matter. You can look for the exact meaning. Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it used as an adjective? Is it used in different formats or at different parts of speech? You can take a greater look at that particular word or a phrase. Certainly, yes, right? Vocab. Not only that, you will start seeing the thin lines of association in the grammar as well. Not only, but also. Oh yeah, because author used not only. Now next he is going to use but also, because it has to go as a phrase, right? So therefore, you kind of start seeing these associations technically, right? So three benefits of reading. Reading is a skill. Benefits are comprehension is a benefit. Your comprehension improves from 50% to 60% to 70% to 80% to 95%. Your comprehension improves, your vocab improves, right? And also your grammar skills will improve, right? That thereby the writing skills will automatically improve. That's the benefit of reading. That's what I meant by start reading. Automatically you will find improvement in three areas connected with the language. Yeah. So what to read? All right. Now one important thing that you should be kind of doing is daily newspaper reading is important, right? Daily newspaper reading is pretty important. Now what to read in the newspaper? Technically, I suggest that start reading with the editorials, right? Don't start anywhere else. It is not the sports page that you start. It is not the business page that you start. It is not the lead article that you start. The first thing when you open the newspaper that you see is going to be the editorials of the newspaper, because these are well thought of, written by some good writers, all right, because they have got some time. It is not that simply reported something. It's an analysis of the news. Editorials are technically analysis of some person. Right, wrong, good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter to me. How right it is, how wrong it is, you might have a different opinion. I am not commenting about that. What I'm commenting is somebody's good piece of writing that you will see which has a logic within it, because it's an analysis. When I report, there is no logic. Hey, there is a flood happening somewhere, right? It's a report has no logic. So somebody analyzing this, why there are floods happening so often, why there seems to be a depressions in the sea so often, right? So that analysis is important. Reporting that there is a depression in the sea, therefore it's going to rain in the South India, that's a report, right? That's a report. You report later. Analysis of the report is what matters, and that's where the logic is built, and the analysis is where helps you to do the logic, and then editorials becomes important. Now don't read editorials. Important, summarize those editorials. What you do is pick any two editorials and write the summary. When you write the summary, naturally, the moment you know that after reading, I want to write the summary of that particular editorial, one, you read it to the fullest of your potential, because you know that I have to remember and write some summary. What I read in the first paragraph, what I read in the second paragraph, what I read in the third paragraph. Technically, you are supposed to be writing the summaries of that, right? So therefore, you naturally read with better attention. Second thing, you also now understand that what kind of words I'm going to use, because when you write, the grammar falls in place, your vocabulary falls in place, your spellings fall in place. All these things get automatically corrected when you start writing the summaries, right? Writing the summaries. All right, that's what you mean by daily newspaper reading, right? That's what I meant. Where to read is important, because a lot of people read newspaper, but they start at a wrong note, right? Don't start on the wrong side of it, start on the right side of it, right? Yeah, okay. And then reading weekly magazines is pretty important. This also also helps you for your B school interviews. So reading newspaper is much more important than reading weekly magazines. Just in case reading newspapers every day is not possible, then definitely you must be reading the weekly magazines. I don't see any point why one should not be reading the newspapers on a regular basis. You should. Just in case during the exams, etc., you missed out on that, yeah, go back to the magazines and look at the magazines. Otherwise, you can do both of them on a regular basis if you have some time, right? Okay, coming to the novels. So how many novels I should be reading every single month? At least 2 novels, right? At this point in time, between December and March, ensure that you kind of read at least 2 novels every single month. Yeah, so any novel, I will make those suggestions which novels to start with, just in case. Okay, those who are regular readers, I don't have to suggest them because they know which books they want to read this month, they know which books they want to read next month, they know which books to read next to next month. They would have already made a list of books already there because they already plan as they are reading this book, they know which is the next book. They've already made a plan of 10 books and they know which books to proceed with. They kind of know because they're regular readers, so they know their next book. But the point is, okay, somebody is stuck, hey, I want to start now. I will make some quick suggestions as to which can be some of the books you can consider, or you can Google it and you can find out. I will just share some of the books to start with, probably that might kind of help you out there. Yeah, okay, coming to some of the questions. What is the Suryansh is trying to say that writing my daily learnings helps me a lot. That's right, Suryansh. And then Krishna is trying to say this is my first attempt. I have so much fear about LRDI. Krishna, all right, I'm not talking about day after tomorrow exam. This particular lecture is about CAT 2022. Right, yeah. If you are looking at CAT 2021, Krishna, probably we will speak about it at a later stage. This particular one, what I'm discussing is for the CAT 22, part 1 of the preparation of CAT 22. I will do part 2s and part 3s at a later stage. The first thing that I'm trying to laying the foundation is, guys, VARC is an important part. Reading is an important skill, the most important skill to thrive in a B school, or even the admissions for a B school is going to be VARC. It is not any other section. Let's be clear, you want to crack CAT, you want to crack ZAT, this is the skill that you need to have. Then comes any other skill in addition to that. I mean, I'm not saying that, okay, what if I don't have these skills, I have the other skills. Sure, that's a rarity. What I'm trying to say is, if you have a year's time, this is the skill you should be working with. Okay, before I further proceed with what kind of readings, what kind of books, let me quickly make certain announcements. Yeah, that's on 27th, that's tomorrow. There are 2 batches which are getting launched. One of them is for NMAT, that is for CAT 2021 student. Anybody is for CAT 2021 here, and all right, now this is in line with your understanding. And if you are for a CAT 22, there is a batch which started on 24th and there is a batch which started on 27th. Every week there will be a batch launch. You may wonder, sir, why every week there is going to be a batch launch, right? These are all structured courses. What I meant by the structured courses is, hey, if you look at all it, there will be a small video about this particular batch called as an Unlock 6.0. The educators will tell you what they want to communicate through their particular lectures. Are they doing quant at level 1? Are they doing RC at level 1 or level 2? What is the objective of this particular course? What are the outcomes solid now that they are expecting out of this particular course? This is what they speak. Therefore, different batches serve different needs of the students. There is no one standard batch that you got to follow, right? You can follow any batch based upon your skills. Say, I'm already good in reading. Follow some other batch on the quant, all it know, where the quant is starting at a lighter side, whereas the reading is going on to a deeper side. Based on your strengths and weaknesses, you kind of decide the batches that you want to follow at that stage of your preparation. That's what you mean by the structured courses, right? On the YouTube, what you do is a kind of unstructured one. What you do on the app is nothing but the structured courses. How do I take up these particular structured courses, right? So this we call it as a plus subs. All right, there are 2 types of subscriptions, as most of you would know. One of them is a plus subscription, the other one is an iconic subscription. You know, plus subscription, so for a 6 months, all right, it's about 16,000, 22,000, etc. But if you are looking at CAT 22, certainly already you might have to go for an annual subscription, which is advisable. So on the annual, on all these subscriptions, yes, you do certainly get 10% discount whenever you use any of the educator code, including my code, which is Belvi 100, right? So you get about 10% discount. In the sense, hey, this might come around 20,000, right? When you get a 10% discount, this might come around 25,000 and etc. That's what I mean. But my suggestion to you is go for iconic subscription. Go for the iconic subscription for a simple reason that, hey, if you take a 6 months iconic subscription, you will get 25 one-to-one discussions. What do you mean by one-to-one discussion? 25 one-to-one discussion means what? In a 6 months time, 25 one-to-one discussions implies that, hey, hey, you can speak to a mentor on a weekly basis, right? Because in 6 months, roughly there are about 25 weeks, all right, in 6 months. So therefore, every week you can connect with a mentor at least once and then talk about your preparation. It could be your doubts, or it could be your concepts, or it could be your preparation roadmap. You can open your Excel on your machine and you can show that, sir, this is what I'm trying to do. This is my weekly calendar looks like, whatsoever. At a later stage of your preparation, you can open up your test scores and you can say that, hey, this is how it is progressing. What should I do about them? And with whom to speak? The mentor of your choice. You can pick the mentor of your choice and then you can speak to them. All right, that's what you technically do. So therefore, I suggest that, hey, this is going to help you a big time, because sometimes when you are stuck, you need to speak to a mentor of your choice. Set up a meeting. Meeting also can be set up at your own choice to discuss at various stages of your preparations. You will have different needs. That's what you kind of talk about it. Therefore, my preference is always an iconic, right? Because you speaking that one-to-one capacity is always important. All right, with that connect. That's important because your needs are pretty different. Your questions could be very different. It cannot be addressed in the public forum because some of them would be necessarily private. It could be profile building. So many other stuff. Fair enough. So on this as well, you get a 10% discount whenever you use the educator code. Fair enough. Let's go further on this. So, but then if you are making this decision to buy in the near future, as I said, hey, it's not 25 1-to-1. You will get 35 1-to-1 in a 6-month subscription plan. What is that? 40% increase, 40% more of your 40% more one-to-ones, right? So I just told in the last slide that 25 1-to-1s you get, but you get 35. Similarly, if it's an annual plan, you'll get 50 1-to-1s, but you're not 50, you get 70 1-to-1 discussions with the mentors of your choice. Okay, likewise, that's an offer that is running as of now. Those who are looking for CAT 22, there is an early bird offer as well. So I told you before that, hey, there is a 10% discount when you use educator code. Not 10% discount, you do get 20% discount if you buy the subscriptions, any subscription before 30th November. That's an early bird offer that they have. Yeah, so that's pretty much about the backgrounds that I wanted to convey. There is a 20% discount till 30th of this particular month. Fair enough. All right, so let's move on. Okay, some of the suggested readings. So if you're looking at the books and the authors, this could be some of the books. You can take a screenshot of it, or you may say that a different varieties of reading. So this can be some of the books that I kind of suggest. You may say that, no sir, I will read some of the Indian authors as well. Anything is fine. So some of the suggested readings, just I'm putting it to perspective. It could be this, right? So read some books on management, read some books on strategy, try and read different kind of books. That's my point, what I'm trying to say in general. It could be autobiographies, very, very important. The biographies are important. It could be people from Indian origin, or it could be from global origin. Doesn't matter. All right, now, so you may say that, say, I will read Ratan Tata on one hand, then I will read Elon Musk on the other hand, then I will read about Mahindra on one hand, then I will read about Jock Welch on the other hand. You can mix and read, right? You can mix one. So sometimes you can read autobiographies, sometimes you can read sometimes you can read something on the management. At times you may say that, hey, I will read something on the light novel, fiction kind of it. Likewise, different kind of readings you got to mix and match, and you can kind of read. You can read about the companies, how the big companies are built, how the HUL is built. There are books written on the companies, how the Facebook is built, or how the Google has built, how Amul is built, something like that. You can read about the companies as well. That will also tell you as to strategies, etc. It opens up your mind to different thoughts. Hey, what is this reading? Reading is a food for your mind, right? So therefore you will start different thinking in different perspectives, right? It gives you the economic perspective. It also gives, when you start reading different things, you get economics perspective, you get political perspective, right? It will give you a technological perspective. It'll also, in the sense, like it's like a protein, it's like a vitamins, all right. It could be something like carbohydrates, it is like fats, all is required for a body. Similarly for a mind, all these kind of readings will help your mind to comprehend better, mature in the sense of the reading skills, right? So one kind of reading will not mature your mind in reading skills. Varieties of reading is what is going to mature your reading skills. Yeah, that kind of all it now puts me back to the perspective. I'm fairly done with it. If you want to know more, or if you want to understand a little further, you can always come on to this particular Telegram group. I'm sure I will be able to make some suggestion just in case you have a particular question with respect to your CAT 22 preparation. That's pretty much done. So if you liked my small presentation on illustrating why reading is such an important skill to crack a CAT, one single largest skill to crack a CAT is nothing but having a sound reading skills. Not only cracking a CAT, you want to build a decent career after passing out of some of the top B schools. schools like IIMs or SP Jain, or it could be MDI. As if you want to have this, the reading skill will definitely hold you strong, even preparing for while you are approaching for these exams, while you are on the B school campus, and even when you are out of the B school campus. This is one skill which will definitely help when compared with any other skill. Yeah, that brings me to the closure of this particular discussion. If you have liked it, you can press the like button before you kind of leave out of this particular forum. I'm hoping that I kind of addressed what I wanted to communicate. If there are questions, you can post now. So if it is live, so if you are listening to this particular video in the recorded versions, you can post that particular question in the comment section. I'll take some time and I will try to address this, or you can come on the Telegram channel and then you can post your concerns out there as well. These are the different ways you can kind of reach out to me. Yeah, sure. Thanks, Suryan. Suryan is saying that your revision videos have helped. Thank you for that comment. Should I apply for SP Jain? Devanshu, without knowing any of your background, I cannot comment like this. See, these are called as very shallow, right? No, so I don't know anything about you and you suddenly ask that, should I apply for SP Jain? I have no answer. Right? Think about it, right? I say something, will you do that? So on what basis I'm trying to suggest you? Before the suggesting, I need to know your profile, right? So just because you have not worked doesn't mean that your candidature is either qualified or disqualified. There are many more other parameters to it, right? Yeah. So these shallow questions will not make sense, to be honest to you. So you should always seek a right kind of counseling. Don't come onto the YouTube and ask it and somebody says something, take it for granted. Never do that mistake. Never do that mistake. Okay, so there should be always a deeper discussions before we make certain things. Okay, all right, Rohan is thanking for the presentation. That's great, guys. Okay, nice to be with you guys. I will be quickly launching, coming here with CAT 22 lectures. So I would like to see you guys while I'm trying to do on the CAT 22 lectures. Devanshu, you can come on to the Telegram and we can discuss this out there. That can be the right forum. I don't want to spend much time on this particular video right here. All right, I'll see you guys in my further video. Bye till then. If it has helped you, press the like button and you can press on the bell icon so that next time whenever we are doing the lectures, you can subscribe to the channel so that you will be kind of aware of this and you can attend it without missing it. Yup. All right, glad to be here this evening with you guys. Thanks that you guys watched this particular presentation. I will see you in my next video. Bye till then. Stay blessed. God bless you, and God bless you.